Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question of the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocketradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
It is time for Coffee Ann here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us on Tuesday morning. It's August 6th in the year 2024. My name's Joe Callahan, here with Linda Thibault. Hi, Linda.
Good morning.
And Ed Carew from the Carew Investment Group. Hi, Ed.
Good morning.
Have you gotten over the fact that Aerosmith has to retire?
I'm still dealing with it.
Are you still dealing?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you hear about that over the weekend?
No, I did not.
Poor Steven Tyler. He injured his throat like last year, and they had to cancel some concerts. So they said, "Don't worry, we'll be back." Well, we'll look at his age,
Well,
and look at the way he sings, and
look at his lifestyle.
and his lifestyle. It never healed, and it's not going to heal. So he can't sing the way you're used to him singing.
Yeah.
The high pitch, the screeching.
Yeah, the screaming.
The part of it. He's like, we can't do this anymore. I'm gonna really hurt myself.
Well, yeah.
So they had to retire, and he's still getting over it.
Oh.
I liked Aerosmith. Always liked it.
Oh, they're good. You're right. All right. This portion of the Coffee Ed program is brought to you by the Carew Investment Group. So time for a first message from Ed Carew.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Good morning, everyone. Integrity, trust, service. 3 words that sum up what you can expect from the Carew Investment Group at 2190 Mendon Road in Cumberland. Established in 1987, we've been helping local investors to build wealth and guide them through their golden years of retirement using quality stocks of companies that you know, many of which pay quarterly dividends. Also investment-grade bonds and low-cost exchange-traded funds. To find out more about our services and for a quality conservative approach to investing, you can call us at 765-8880. Integrity, Trust, Service, the Carew Investment Group. Securities offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
All right, Ed, thanks. Now, Ed always sends out an email to his clients once a week on how things are going in the stock market and things like that, and I peruse it once a week, Ed, just to see what's going on. And part of it was Ed put August and September historically toughest months on the stock market, and look what happened the last couple of days.
Yeah.
Well, August always sucks.
To put it bluntly, yeah.
And why, though? Why?
A lot of money managers take the month off, so the machines are in charge.
So the stocks tank?
Well, the machines are programmed to do, if this happens, do this.
Yeah.
If that happens, do that. But you don't know what the machine or what by machine I'm talking about computerized stuff.
Yeah.
You tell a computer in Chicago to sell if the S&P 500 hits a certain level, it's going to sell.
Uh-huh.
But there might be another one in San Francisco that's programmed to do something at a different number. Maybe that one's programmed to sell at a lower number, so they sell. And you're moving big amounts of stocks or bonds.
But if the stock drops 1,000 points,
Yeah.
are there any
You mean
safeguards?
the market?
The market.
Yeah.
Are there any safeguards in place to say, wait a minute, we've dropped too much?
1,000 points on 40,000 is a little over 2%.
Okay,
The
so it's not a
circuit
lot.
breakers don't kick in at that.
Oh, okay. Now, what about? I'm reading just a headline.
Japan was down 13%.
Yes, yeah.
Worst crash since '87.
Yeah,
Okay, so that's a lot.
that's a lot.
Okay.
13% on where we were
Yeah.
would have been, let's just use 40,000 just to make it easy.
Easy. Okay.
All right, usually 40,000. I think that's about 52 times 13%. That would have been 5,200 points.
Okay. Well, that's a lot more than 1,000.
That would have been a lot.
A lot. Okay. All right. But as Ed is always even keeled and level head, don't panic.
Right.
It's not time to jump off the building yet. Everything, it'll even out, and these things
Right.
happen, right? In the stock market, we go, ups and downs, and now we're in a down part. Okay.
Yeah. We're still up for the year.
Yeah. Let's look at it that way.
Right now, the Dow is still up 3% for the year,
Yeah.
which is not a lot, but we're only halfway through the year. And I don't care about the Dow anyway. The Dow is 30 stocks. Who cares?
All right.
The Dow is not as important as it once was.
Okay.
All right. The S&P 500, which is a much more broadly followed and much more important index, is still up 9.3%. The average annual return of stocks going back 50 years, average annual, is somewhere between 8 and 10%. Well, we're halfway through the year, a little over halfway through the
Right.
year. We just had a correction. We may not be done. I don't know. I don't know what those machines are thinking this morning. But we're still up 9.3%.
Okay.
The NASDAQ is up 8.9% after the correction that it's had.
See, Linda, the problem is the media doesn't tell you that.
No,
course
because
not.
All they
everybody's up
say
in
is
arms.
all of a sudden it's panic time
It's
because the
panic-
Dow dropped 1,000 points.
Right, and you know the thing is too, because they're talking about unemployment and inflation, and the Federal Reserve people going to meet again and raise the
Raise the interest rate. Yeah.
interest rate.
No, they're
again
not
and
going to
all.
raise it. I
No.
told you
Oh,
last
Lord.
week they
Well,
weren't
I
going
know
to do
you- I
anything,
know
and
what
they
you
did
said,
nothing.
But
And
you
they did
didn't they didn't talk to you.
Well, they still
The
didn't
news
do it.
people didn't talk to you to get that information. You know what I mean?
Well, they didn't.
And I know you say don't panic. Well, first of all, at my age, and you know what I mean. It's not about high risk stuff. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know. But I was listening to the morning news on channel 12
All right.
CBS, and they were saying, and we're gonna just take it easy. It's
Take a deep
okay.
breath.
We're young, and take Kate. Well, and it's okay. It's okay. You know that was the only positive
Well, that's good.
Uh-huh.
That, they
that
said it.
I've heard, because they both said we just take our time, sit and wait it out.
Okay.
You know,
And that's
the
what,
thing
you know.
is, this year has been so good. The
Yeah.
last few years have been so good that a lot of investors don't know what the stock market does. They don't know that it can go down. All right? They just think,
It
oh,
just
it goes up.
does- goes
It
up
just-
all the time.
Yeah, it does not do that. A normal acting market usually has at least one or two, at least 5 to 10% corrections a year.
Yeah, okay.
That's normal.
Mm-hmm.
So we're still we're right now where we should be for a full year's worth of gains. That's where we are.
I love it. He calls it a correction.
Yeah.
And you know what? Is it because these
Well,
people?
there's some people call it a crash.
No, I like
To
the
me, a
correct-
crash
I like-
is what
I-
happened in 1987
Yeah.
when the Dow was at 2,500 and it went down 1,000 points.
Yeah.
That was 25% drop. That was a
was a
crash.
crash, yeah. They-
This is
it's
a
a
stub your
correction.
toe.
But you know, do you think when you said that, is it because the people that are doing all these things now are younger and inexperienced, and they don't know that happens, the corrections?
Well, that may have something to do with it. But there's a lot of other things going
Yeah,
on.
like-
Everything is
And it's an election year. and
everything.
They're all going to make
It's
it
an election
better.
year is part of
They're
it.
gonna make it
The
better.
world is much smaller.
Yeah,
as
that's
far
a
as
fact,
you
yeah.
know, Japan had that big drop, but they're also doing stuff with their interest rates, which affects our interest rates. You know,
It's complicated.
so yes, you got the Mid East, and they're expecting Iran and Hezbollah to attack
No, no,
Israel.
that's right.
You know, maybe right now as we're
Yeah,
speaking.
right,
Eh,
exact-
You know,
yeah.
you still got the Russia-Ukraine thing. There's all kinds of stuff going on in the world that can affect you. It's all intertwined, and now you got the month of August, and you know September is not a really great month, at least not the beginning of it. It usually straightens out after. And I'm not saying that we're going to drop all through August and September. I'm just
Right.
saying that they generally are not good months
Compared to the rest of the year. Okay.
because the guys, the big money managers, they need time off too, and they generally take the month of August as their time off. So they're not there to make rational decisions, and a computer does not make rational decisions.
Just
It
what's
does what it's
programmed.
programmed to do.
And does
It's-
it. Yeah.
Right. A human being would have sat there and looked and said,
Wait a minute. Yeah.
I think this is a buying opportunity.
Yeah.
Let me buy some of that.
Yeah.
That is a good company. They just reported earnings. The earnings were great. Their projections going forward are good. The economy is still, still reasonably good economy. Inflation has been coming down. Interest rates will drop before the end of the year. Now that was another thing that disappointed people.
Yeah.
You know, they've been calling for a rate cut. I told you
Yeah.
there would be no rate
Yeah,
cut, but I
right.
said there probably
Yeah.
will be in September. Well, now I would have to go with, yep, there will be in September if things stay the way they are. So all of these things are all thrown in there, and it's August.
All right.
That's why we have people like you.
That's right. So, Ed, if you can check real quick, General Mills,
Yeah.
publicly traded?
Yeah.
Okay. See what their stock is at, because do you know they've been hit with 2 federal lawsuits? 2 federal lawsuits are seeking millions of dollars from General Mills cereal.
Why? What do?
Plaintiff-
Lead in there. In this.
That's it.
Really?
Oh my gosh, Linda, you hit the note. You hit it right in the head. Plaintiffs say Cocoa Puffs. And people love Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, they do.
Cocoa Puff cereal could contain high levels of lead. Can you believe that? Yep. The suits filed recently in Minnesota and in California are calling for more than $5 million in damages for consumers nationwide. It's one of those deals where
Yeah.
if you decide to send in that little card you get
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
mail,
yeah, yeah. You'll get $2.50.
you're going to get $2 back. That's right.
In
One-
4 years.
Yeah, it takes forever. Yeah, one suit claims that one cup, that's not a lot, by the way, 1 cup of Cocoa Puffs contains just a little less than the state's maximum allowable limit of 0.5 micrograms of lead. You know how little that is?
That's little, but you know what? Cocoa Puffs kids would like that.
Well, yeah.
And little kids' brains are, you know.
So what
susceptible
is this
to lead.
affecting General Mills stock, Ed?
Stock is down $1 at $68.28. The
All right, it's
high
not
for the
killing
year is approximately 75, and
Yeah.
the low is approximately 62.
All right, so nothing
So-
nothing really affecting it right now.
No.
Okay. Okay.
Interesting.
Just wonder. I can't believe you got that right. Lead. There's lead in the Cocoa Puffs.
They're trying to make the box heavier.
I don't know why. No, all right.
They don't fill them anymore. You know,
Well,
Oh,
no.
no.
we hit the weight by putting lead.
Yes. Don't they put that on the box that contents may have settled in shipping?
Yeah.
So you get a quarter of the box
Yeah,
is full.
right.
Well, I think that's deliberate.
Well, yeah.
To pay more and get less.
Ed brought up, it's an election year. I'm going to go out on a limb here because Harris is supposed to name her vice presidential candidate
Is
today.
it today, yeah.
But they're making the announcement in Philadelphia. Well, one of the top 3 running in contention is the governor of Pennsylvania.
Is this a conspiracy theory?
Well, no,
of the
this is
day?
not a conspiracy
No, but
theory.
it
This
is-
is me guessing.
Yeah.
Ah,
If I
okay.
were to put money on it, Shapiro is the governor of
Yeah.
Pennsylvania, and if they're making the announcement in Philadelphia,
Perhaps.
he's the guy.
That would make
Maybe.
sense. Yeah.
I think it just makes perfect sense.
It does. It
Yeah.
does.
If it's not him, and they bring in the guy from Minnesota or the guy from Arizona,
Yeah,
it's kind of a slap in the face to the governor of Pennsylvania.
exactly.
To me, it is anyway. So we'll see. We'll see if I'm right.
Okay.
Put $10 down, Shapiro. All right, little closer to home here. That we had the Woonsocket City Council meeting last night.
Oh, my.
They voted 7-0 to accept the report
The report.
by the independent lawyer on the whole Mendon Road land deal, showing what was going on there. And just before the meeting happened, the press release went out that Planning Director Mike DuBrois retired
Yes.
on basically on Sunday. That was the date of his retirement, and he cleaned out his desk yesterday, and he is now done after pretty close to 35 years of working for the city. So the current mayor, Chris Beauchamp, added he's currently evaluating the future leadership structure of the planning department. So it's like, but Mike DuBrois shows up pretty heavily in that report by the lawyer, along with former Mayor Lisa Baldelli Hunt, and saying he knew about it and he should have done this and should have done and didn't do this and didn't do that and stuff like that. You'd have to read the whole thing. So the retirement, some call it quitting, whichever way you want to put it. But if you retire, I guess you retain your benefits.
Yeah, I would think.
So it's like,
Yeah.
and I guess he can retain it unless charges are brought, which is still a possibility.
Yeah, I think that was the more significant vote that they took last night, and they accepted it, but that they voted, I believe, to send it off to the Attorney General's office and all
Yes,
the
or
powers.
the
that-
U.S. attorney,
The U.S. Attorney,
We'll
U.S.
go there.
Attorney,
Mhm.
U.S. Attorney, and that's
and let them deal with it. Yeah.
that's very significant. That
Yeah.
vote, yeah, yeah.
And,
I mean,
and what I heard, the U.S. attorney was very interested in getting the report.
I'm sure.
I was
And
looking
you know,
forward to
because
reading it.
the thing is that they vote to accept it, that's common. You have to do that
In order
the
to
cow-
send it off.
Well, not only that, to make it part of the record.
Oh, right.
For
Okay.
the city, yeah. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you paid for that investigation, accept the report.
Yeah.
Now it's public record,
Mm-hmm.
and the other vote, to send it off to the U.S. Attorney is very significant.
And it was a 7-0 vote. They all
Yes,
agreed. It was unanimous that
Unanimous,
we got to do
yeah.
this. So, and like they were saying during the meeting last night, this is not the end of this. This is basically the beginning.
I would say
Kind of
it
thing.
is. yeah,
We have
yeah.
not heard the end of this,
No.
and I kind of agree with that. And we'll see what when it gets to the U.S. Attorney's office, what they
Yeah.
decide to do with it from there.
Yeah.
So, okay,
Interesting.
we're gonna take a break here in the Coffee and program. We got a note to get to. We will when we come back. But Ed, time for a second message from the Carew Investment Group.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Thanks again, and good morning again, everyone. Are you retired or retiring soon? Well, that's great. Congratulations. You may be retiring, but your money can't afford to retire. I'm Ed Carew of the Carew Investment Group at 2190 Mendon Road, Suite 3 in Cumberland, Rhode Island. At the Carew Investment Group, we offer personal investment management of client money, especially from the proceeds of their 401k distribution after they leave the workforce. So to find out more about our services and for professional management of your investments, you can call me or Paul at 765-8880. Securities are offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
Thanks, Ed, and more of the Coffee and program coming your way. Comments and questions can be called in at 766-1240.
There's an old saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Don't get fooled again, Woonsocket. I'm John Ward, and I've been working for you and only you for 25 years now. 2 years ago, Mayor Lisa Baldelli Hunt was removed from office for good reason. She angrily came back with a team and tried to have the city spend way too much money buying a piece of land from her friend. This recent report proves it, and in shame, she had to quit. Now she wants her hand-picked mayor to stay in office while much of her team is leaving. Slow audits, overvalued properties, and now private information released. Have you had enough yet, Woonsocket? I know I have. I'm John Ward, and I'm running to be your mayor. There's no room for cronyism that keeps costing you money. This embarrassment must stop. Want to know more? Visit wardformayor.org. I'd appreciate your vote September the 10th. We're better than this.
Paid for friends of John Ward.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
We are local and live at 99.5.
Okay, it's Coffee and here on ONR Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here, along with Linda Tebow and Ed Carew. We did a note that was called in. Here in the city of Woonsocket, Ed, I know you probably don't drive on this road anymore because you moved the office to Cumberland and all. I don't know, Linda, if you drive on it, but it's Hamlet Avenue.
Yeah, not
Have you
that
been on
often.
Hamlet Avenue
Yeah,
in
not
a
that
while, Ed?
often.
Occasionally.
All right. It's
Very
just back on the
different,
scene today with Hamlet Avenue. The project, it's constant construction on that road.
Yeah.
Continues. Stoppage and detours again and again. And they see nothing getting done, nothing at all. Just new road pavement. Well, they are putting stuff in the ground.
Yeah.
Come on, it's just taking way too long. And I always forget about it. And I'll drive down Park Avenue and you get all the way down to where the church is.
Yeah.
And there's always a sign there, a detour. It's like, you gotta take a right. And the one time I went all the way went down to Hamlet Avenue, and I couldn't take a right. I had to take a left, and then go up that little side street by Cafe and Oil, and then come back
Oh,
up.
okay, yeah.
Did the whole? I'm going in the wrong direction.
Yeah, no, I don't drive that way
This is
very
just driving me
often.
crazy.
Yeah.
That this, and I can feel the caller's pain because it's been going on all summer. And when they National Grid shows up and they do stuff and they pave the road and they go away for a couple of days and then they come back and they start the whole thing all over again. It seems.
Well, there's you're getting a new road. Do all that stuff first.
Yeah.
Don't go back and dig it up and do some. But it is the season.
I guess
It's the season. There's
it's
there's
traffic
construction
season.
everywhere because
Oh, yeah.
We don't-
Construction all over the place in Middleborough, too.
everywhere.
Yeah.
You don't do it in the wintertime.
There's all kinds
you
of
know?
detours.
Yeah,
You can't.
and
Yeah.
you got to they're doing it to make it better.
Yeah.
This is happened to me. This will happen at night. I don't think you guys would see it during the morning, but going down 146 south, and right now you can't get onto 295 north. You got to go all the way into Lincoln and get on 116, and then turn around and come back the other way. But if they're working on something precarious on the bridge there, going over 146 to 295, and they don't want anyone going underneath, they'll send people down 295 south. And now you got to go down to Route 7.
Oh my God! See, that's why I've avoided
It's a solid 10 minutes out of your way,
Oh sure.
which doesn't sound like a lot when I say it,
But
but
it
when you're
is.
driving it, you're like,
Yeah.
I'm going 180 degrees in the wrong direction.
Yeah, right.
That I really don't want to be going.
Yeah.
And it's just, and we had Tom Ward come in yesterday. He was coming in from Manville, and he wanted to take a right onto 146 at Anchor Subaru.
Yeah.
Blocked off. He couldn't do it because they were working on that
Yeah.
way. He had to take a left. Now he's going 180 degrees
Yeah.
in the wrong direction to go to Woonsocket,
Woonsocket, yeah.
all the way down to Lincoln, turn around to come all the way back.
See, that's why I've been avoiding it, because, I do that cable show over at Cox.
Yeah, right there on 146.
And so, you do have to go north,
Yeah,
come around.
Come around and come
Now
back.
that you just told me that, I'm going to wait a little long. I try to avoid places that I can, it's okay.
The Woonsocket Police Department was participating in the National Night Out. It was supposed to be tonight, but the weather's not going to be
Oh,
great.
yeah, we took part in that one time it was really nice.
But it was a whole thing that was planned
Okay.
down at World War II Park on Social Street, music and food
Mm-hmm. Sure,
and giveaways for the kids. And they said, the weather doesn't look great. So
Well,
they pushed. If you're
pushed,
planning to go, they're pushing it off a week.
Yeah, that's
So
probably a
they'll
good
be
idea.
coming back next
Yeah.
Tuesday night, August 13th,
Yeah.
5:30 to 7:30 at World War II Park. Just so mark it on your calendar. Just go next week, and that'll be fun.
That's a very good event. Very good.
Yeah. So there were a couple of things in the in the local news that have, from Northern Rhode Island. One is there's a former man from Burrillville. He's facing charges now. He was out in California, and he threatened a mass. They call it a mass casualty event, and he threatened to shoot up the Army-Navy game
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah.
He also called Bryant University and threatened to shoot up the campus if they didn't give him $1 million.
Yeah.
And of course, they report this to police. Now he's out in California making these threats, calling back here to do this. So he's been apprehended,
Yes, I
and
saw that. Yeah.
and he is being brought back to Rhode Island, being extradited back to face the charges. He still has family that live in Burrillville,
Burrillville.
and they said, well, we haven't spoken to him in years, but he's got a long history of mental health issues. And so,
And I hope that was a red flag, so they took his guns away.
and they never said if he had any guns.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
just in case,
would-
if
well, you
he's
would think
threatening
so.
to shoot something
Yeah.
up, he probably does.
His name, by the way, is Andrew Buchanan. He did serve in the Rhode Island Army National Guard
Yeah.
from 2008 to 2013 and was honorably discharged. And if you're
Yeah,
in the
but-
National Guard,
But
you
did
probably have shot
he
a
was
gun.
he was deployed too, though.
Oh, was he?
to-
I
I
didn't re-
forgot
I
where,
didn't hear
Kuwait,
that.
I think.
Yeah.
But did you see though he did get an honorable discharge?
Yes.
However, there was a little caveat
Oh, what did it
about
say?
History or experience with misconduct. You know, it wasn't
interesting.
like, but there were issues. There were
Like
issues.
he'd been arrested and when he was part of the National
Yeah,
Guard?
you know, it was very vague what they said.
Yeah.
It was an honorable discharge
Yeah.
with, some issues of misconduct.
Okay.
So,
And it makes you wonder because they said
yes,
that
he did learn how to shoot a gun.
Yes.
Yes, he did.
Now they said that he made the calls from California,
Yeah.
but he was arrested in Arizona.
Gets around.
Or was he planning on making his way back?
Yeah.
I mean, not that Arizona's that far east from California, but it's east.
Well, I hope someone took his guns away if he had.
Well, I hope so. Well,
a red
and
flag. If
I'm-
that's not a red flag, geez, what
I'm-
is?
I'm glad that I'm glad they caught this guy, and
Yeah.
I'm glad the family
No, obviously.
worked with the authorities on this
Obviously,
one.
mental health issues.
Yep.
A lot.
So you hear about these stories a lot. Usually they're not too much around here. Usually you find them in the Midwest somewhere. But a woman from Foster was at the Lincoln Mall, Ed, and she left her infant child in the car on Sunday. Well, she went into the Asia Grill to pick up some takeout,
And then she shopped it.
and then she went to Ocean State Job Lot.
Yeah.
Did a little more shopping.
Yeah. Well,
She even admitted, she was away from the car for 20 minutes.
but she didn't know it was wrong.
Oh, what she did was fine.
She cracked the window.
She did crack the window, Ed.
So she was using the truck as a babysitter. You know what is
And-
wrong with people?
But she also said, what I read in what she normally does, she's done this before. No, what she normally does is she leaves the car running with the AC on.
There you go.
Okay.
No,
And everything,
not
and everything's
okay.
been fine. Everything, I know it's not okay, but obviously the baby's fine if she's in the air-conditioned car. She didn't do it this time because she says she couldn't find her spare key. Well, use your key.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, no, I gotta have that in case someone steals the car. I don't know why, but that was her actual explanation.
Yeah.
I do this all the time, kind of thing, and but I didn't have my spare key, so that's why I cracked the window. Now, the Good Samaritans come by. They see the infants in the car. There's nobody around.
They call police.
They did call the police. It makes you wonder what you would do in that situation.
I would call the police. Or
But
may crack the window.
Would you break the window?
Perhaps I would, yes.
I would think of doing
Yeah,
that. I would hope I would think
Yeah.
of doing
I
that.
would do both.
Ed, would you break the window?
I would break the window, but I would call
Yeah.
the police.
I don't
at the
know.
Would you
same
think about
time.
breaking the window?
Well, I would think about it. I don't
Oh,
know if
okay.
I would do it.
It's
It
tough
probably
because you're not in that
depends-
situation.
Yeah, right. I guess it
Well-
depends on how hot it was,
Okay.
the
This was-
apparent
This
condition
was
of the
yesterday.
child.
It was 90.
It was Sunday.
Oh well,
Oh, it was Sunday.
Yeah, it
It
was
was
Sunday.
90.
Yeah,
It was
it was
90.
hot.
yeah,
on
it was
Sunday.
still up
Well,
there.
you know the thing is, you don't when you see something like that, you don't know how long that baby's been in that
Well,
right.
vehicle,
No.
and a cracked window doesn't cut it at
So-
all. And babies overheat quickly, So you crack, call the police and
Good
break the
Samaritans did
window.
call the police,
yeah.
and when the police got there, they checked out. They were looking in on the baby. They could tell that the baby was flushed and was sweating.
Yeah,
Can't tell how long it had been there, but the cop broke the window,
yeah,
Yeah.
unlocked the car, got the car seat out. The baby was in the car seat,
yeah,
and he put it in the cruiser
yeah.
that was running.
With the
Had
air
air
in it,
conditioning. Let's
yeah.
cool down the baby. Then
Yeah.
he calls, or she calls. I'm not sure.
rescue.
Ambulance.
Yeah,
And they did take the baby to whatever hospital
Yeah.
to check it out. I get, and the baby's fine, by the way.
yeah.
But then I guess they wait around to see
Mama come out.
who's gonna come out
Yeah.
to take ownership of the car.
Yeah.
And they even said she had brown bags, so they could tell she'd been shopping, and she didn't deny it,
No,
and just said, oh yeah, I just
she didn't know there was
I'd only been
anything wrong.
going 20 minutes, and I haven't done anything wrong. Well, they arrested her.
Yeah, well, yeah, they did.
At
But I
least
think she
on
yeah.
child endangerment charge,
Yeah.
child neglect charge.
Child neglect. Yeah.
Yeah.
But she said, I didn't know it was the.
I didn't know it was
I
wrong.
didn't know it was wrong. Have you been under a rock? I mean, it's on in every newspaper, on every, do not leave your
Yeah.
child or pet in the
In the
car
ca-
in
right.
this heat. Plain and simple.
Yeah, but the part of I didn't do it. I didn't think it was
I-
wrong, and I cracked the window. So
Yeah, well,
I'm a good parent. And
They interviewed one woman that was there.
That was there, yeah.
She was a grandmother, and she was like, I was
Beside
just
herself?
upset. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, she was like. Never is it okay. Take the baby
no.
in there with you. Don't be so
And,
lazy.
yeah, it's difficult to do the shopping with the baby, but
But that's what you do.
that's what you do. Ocean State Job Lot has carriages.
Yeah, they do.
Put the baby in the car seat,
Yeah.
in the carriage,
Yeah, yeah.
push it around.
And it's
Yeah,
air
well,
conditioned,
And it's air conditioned in the store. Will the baby wake up? Maybe.
perhaps. Yeah.
If it does, oh well, kind of thing. And that's our public service announcement. Don't leave babies or animals
Or animals in the car.
in the car, even if you've cracked the window. It's not enough.
No, it isn't.
And
No.
I've said this before because I've actually watched it. You go on YouTube, where people intentionally, because it hits the news, they go, "We're going to see how bad it really gets,"
Yeah.
and they put themselves in a rolled-up car. You ever see
Yeah.
these? Ed?
Yeah.
Okay, you ever seen these, Linda?
No.
Okay, they're fun. They're fun to watch.
Yeah.
And within a minute, you're sweating,
Yeah.
and they only last maybe 2 or 3,
Yeah.
and they say that's it. We gotta say, this is
yeah.
getting unbearable.
And you're a grown person.
And you're that's right.
You're not a little baby.
That you can.
You
They
know?
said, so imagine a dog
Can you imagine?
or a little baby
A baby.
being in this for 10 minutes,
10 minutes, you know?
if not longer. When we as an adult can only do it for maybe 2 or
Yeah.
3.
Well, you know,
How
one
bad
of the
it is.
things, baby probably wasn't in too long because they said that she was still, the baby
Sleeping.
was still sweating.
Yeah,
So that's a good thing. It was trying to cool itself off.
yeah.
It's when you stop sweating, there lies, you know, then you're in trouble.
I always make. I don't know about you guys when you're driving, but I try to have it the rule in my car. Once it hits 80 degrees, I mean the AC's on. If it drops below 80, all right, maybe I shut the AC off and I roll the windows,
the
down,
windows down,
while I'm
yeah.
driving.
Yeah.
But 80 degrees seems to be the benchmark.
Yeah,
That's when it's warm enough, hot enough for air conditioning.
yeah.
And when she said, oh, well, I usually use the spare key and I leave the baby in the car with the air conditioning running, with the car running, I said, well, what about people stealing the baby? And they-
There's so many
talk
things
about,
wrong
talk
with
about
this
just
woman.
a
Yeah,
wrong
yeah,
decision
yeah.
all the way around.
Yeah.
All right. More coming up. It's time to take a break here on the Coffee and program. Speaking of the weather, time for the weather forecast being brought to you by the wonderful people over at KFC.
Mostly cloudy skies today with a high near 74 degrees. Chance of rain 60%. Tonight, mostly cloudy skies, an 80% chance of showers and thunderstorms overnight. Wednesday's weather, another 80% chance of showers and thunderstorms, high near 70. Thursday, mostly sunny, high of 75. Friday, 90% chance of showers and thunderstorms possible, high of 74. Saturday, another 90% chance of showers, high of 77, wind gusts to 25 miles per hour. Sunday, partly sunny with a high of 79, and Monday, mostly sunny and 78.
Currently outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Ave and Kennedy Street with cloudy skies and looks like no rain at the moment, but we also have 74 degrees. Get a taste of KFC's $10 Tuesday. Pick up an 8-piece drum and thigh bucket for just $10. Only at KFC. It's finger looking good. Prices and participation vary. Tax, tip, and fees are extra.
Seasonal allergies got you down? The Honey Shop has a solution. Breathe. It's the all-natural cold and allergy remedy made right here in Woonsocket. Or perhaps you have sleep problems, arthritis, or some other ailment that you're looking for a natural solution. The Honey Shop is also starting classes again. So if you're looking to learn something new, stop by 1300 Park Avenue in Woonsocket near Park Square, or give them a call at 401-766-1488. The Honey Shop. For an Allstate agent, providing protection options that fit your life is something they take, well, personally. Allstate agents are committed to learning about your needs and helping customize protection to meet them. From bundling your home and auto insurance with ease to evaluating optional coverage, your Allstate agent can help build an insurance proposal that fits your life. And just as important as learning what you need is learning what you don't. Because helping you get coverage you want with savings you deserve is what Allstate is all about. It's time to get coverage that's catered to you. Are you in good hands? Call Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, 2 locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. One telephone number, 765-5000. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Allstate Property and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Hey, it's ON Radio's Cruisin' Bruce Palmer, and I'd love to have you join me every Saturday for the Saturday Block Party. We start at 4 o'clock when I open up the ON Music Vault for you to pick whatever you want to hear or send to somebody special. Yes, the good old radio request days are back. Join me for the Saturday Block Party, Saturdays from 4 until 7 on ON Radio and streaming online at WoonsocketRadio.com.
All right, it is Coffee Ann here on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Ed Carew and Linda Tebow. And it became official yesterday. The Bishop of Providence is now going to be the Bishop of the Archdiocese of Boston.
Archbishop.
And he was only been here a little over a year.
A little over a year.
Richard Henning is leaving, and the Pope makes these moves And Sean O'Malley up there in Boston has been up there for 20 years. Can you believe that? He's been there for 20 years.
No, no.
Well, he's 80 now. And
Is
it's
he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
And it's time to retire.
Yeah.
So,
well, he's been through some rough times there too.
Well, he took over after Cardinal Law.
Yeah. He had
And
some,
that
a
was
lot of
tough at the beginning.
major issues he
Yep.
had.
And
I liked him.
he
though.
smoothed everything out.
Yes, he did.
It just makes me wonder, because Bishop O'Malley was at the Archdiocese of Fall River before he was brought to Boston, and I don't know why they didn't look within Massachusetts
Yeah.
to promote someone up again.
Yeah, I'm surprised that.
So, I
you
don't know.
They went with Henning because
Yeah.
he just got
He
here.
just got here,
he just, he's
and no
probably-
word on who's taking over for him.
No, nothing
So-
yet. They're going to put in an administrative.
Oh, I'm
person
sure, because I'm sure he
to
had
do- Yeah.
assistants right under him. Well, here you
Yeah.
acting bishop, I
yeah,
guess,
Yeah.
right now until the Pope says
But I
who it's
don't
gonna
know.
be.
Do you really think Pope Francis knows about Rhode Island?
No.
I think it's all his advisors that
Yeah.
do the picking. The
Yeah.
cardinal,
They just
the
pass him
College of
pieces of
Cardinals.
paper. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, do this.
Yeah, and you get to say.
And
yeah.
you have to make the announcement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I like
Uh,
Pope Francis, but yeah.
I know. I mean, how does he know? How does he know every bishop and every cardinal?
He doesn't. I mean-
around the world, this is impossible.
Yeah.
All right, Bally's over here in Lincoln and in Tiverton says they're hurting, and guess what they're blaming?
What?
The Washington Bridge. It's keeping people from coming to gamble.
Okay.
The president says of Bally's, the failure of the westbound side of the Washington Bridge has impacted revenue at both casinos, Lincoln and Tiverton. He told investors the disruption on the bridge has contributed to a $60 million revenue loss. $60 million. I don't know how he attributes it to the bridge,
Yeah.
because the bridge is in East Providence, so we've got Tiverton on one side and Lincoln
Yeah,
on
yeah,
the other.
right. Yeah, but
So
Lincoln.
He's saying people are just not coming
But
because
Lincoln is.
they don't want to deal with the bridge.
Link-
But if you're in if you're in Seekonk,
Are you going to come to Lincoln?
well, maybe you are.
Yeah. Okay.
But if you're not going to go to Lincoln, you would go to Tiverton.
Okay.
And so, but now I don't know how he's saying we're losing $60 million.
You don't think it's that online
both.
betting that's making a dent in their business, huh?
Probably.
Of course
Yeah.
it is. You don't have to leave
Um,
home.
It still amazes me, Ed, that the state of Rhode Island gets 61% of all the slot machine revenue. I don't know why in the world they agreed to this. 61 cents on every dollar goes to the state, and 18%. That's better. 18% on the table game revenues. So for every buck you bet at blackjack, 18 cents goes to the state. Okay, but 61 isn't that high?
I don't know anything about how that works. I don't know if it's that way in the majority of states or not.
I wonder
or-
what it is in Atlantic City and Vegas and
No
New
idea.
York and all the other states that have slot machines now. I just don't know why they would have agreed to it in the beginning.
Maybe that's the only way they let them in.
Well, that's probably it. If you
Yeah,
want,
yeah.
Yeah, I
if
mean,
you, if
sure,
you,
right?
If you
Hey.
want the license, pay
There you
up.
go.
Yeah.
this is what it's going to be. Well, it looks like The Godfather. Godfather Part 2. You remember that scene right at the beginning?
Yeah.
When Michael's talking to the senator from Vegas, from Nevada.
Yeah.
He wants a little bit for himself, and it's almost the same thing. I don't see how he can attribute it, but then again, I don't have all his figures and all his facts in front of
Yeah.
him. But yeah, if you're in Seekonk, okay, I don't want to go over the bridge to go to Lincoln. I can just drive down to Tiverton. Well, why is Tiverton losing money
Yeah.
on this? So, I don't
Well,
know.
I
Where'd you-
just
where'd
brought
you
up
find
the stock quote for Wynn Resorts.
Okay,
All right, it's a competitor to them.
Wynn, they're in Everett, Mass.
Yeah, okay, and I don't know about all of the others like MGM, but I just brought this one up
All right.
because it was in the news yesterday. The high for the year is about 110, and it's $74.
Mm-hmm.
This is what the chart looks like,
Ooh, going down.
going down wicked fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know. So it may be an industry-wide thing, and these guys are looking for an excuse, and they said, "Oh, that bridge, that's the excuse,"
Everyone's blaming
So
the
I
bridge.
don't
We
know.
might as well blame it too.
Yeah, it could be. Let me look at MGM
Well, because
just for the fun of it.
The bridge is going to give those businesses money to,
Yeah.
you know.
Well, MGM don't look a hell of a lot better, let me tell you.
Yeah, they're going down too. so-
Yeah.
Online
But
betting.
$34?
Yeah, the high is almost, high is about 48, and
Wynn's doing better
and
there.
the low is 34.
But wouldn't they still get the revenue?
I don't know.
The casino still get the revenue from unless they're going somewhere else
I don't know.
instead of
I
doing
don't
your
know how that
online
works.
betting. Instead of going online betting to Bally's, I could do online betting with DraftKings and
Yeah.
FanDuel and those companies,
Yeah.
which aren't through the casino, so they might be they might be taking the money away from the from the
I don't
casino.
know.
Up in Massachusetts, they're gonna close two the hospitals. Linda
Yes,
from
yes,
Stewart,
I
they had
know.
a closure. They had a demonstration outside Kearney Hospital
Kearney,
in Dorchester. Wants the state to do something, and Neshoba Valley in Air is also closing, and the state says, well, we tried to sell it with the other Stewart hospitals, and for whatever reason, no one's interested in those two hospitals.
Yeah, and you know what I was saying? Because that's ridiculous. That all those people, those residents, those patients, those nurses, those doctors,
Yeah.
all of the above, can the state not take them over? I mean, they seem to be spending lots of money on lots of things.
Well, that's what the protest, the Nurses Association wants the state to take some action,
well,
like take them over
well,
and keep them
but
open.
Maura said she can't.
Or she
There's
doesn't want
nothing
to.
she could.
Nothing
Well,
she can do.
but I mean, of all the things that a state does for its people,
Yeah.
one would think that their physical health and
Mhm.
that they could take that over
Well, I'm thinking that
for a while
Yeah.
until they could figure it out.
the Kearney Hospital in Dorchester, which is close enough to Boston, part of Boston.
How-
There's so many other hospitals
Well,
in Boston. Maybe they can absorb all the patients there.
how close are they though?
Well, I don't know. But maybe, okay, we're going to send you. But the one in Air, the one in Neshoba Valley, where's the next closest hospital after Air?
Yeah.
Are you going to drive an hour?
Well, and
get
you know,
somewhere? I
and
don't
that's
know.
what I mean. And plus, there is such value. There is still value in those hospitals, in those neighborhoods, and
Yeah.
because many of the people, maybe Dorchester that's not is that a high rent district now?
No.
No.
No, I didn't think it was.
That's
I didn't
that's
want
your, that's your
I,
low income.
But, well, that's what I
Nice,
figured. But so once again, do they have the wherewithal to get to Boston? And I'm not talking for emergency treatment. I'm just talking for, regular, maybe preventive medicine kind of stuff.
I don't know if there's another hospital.
Well, Dorchester,
Dorchester.
is part of Boston.
What?
Yeah, it's just a neighborhood.
What?
Dorchester is
Is
part,
part
of Boston.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right. See, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
But
you
it's
know,
close enough to those big hospitals like Mass General and all those big ones.
well, close is a relative term.
Well,
I mean,
I
I don't know how
Yeah,
close
see,
they are.
I'm not
Well,
sure.
driving wise, it's maybe 10 or 15 minutes.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah, they're not
Oh,
far.
it's not that far.
It's
Oh,
there.
okay. All right. Well, see,
It's-
I'm not.
you know,
geography's not my.
Yeah, well, I knew a few
I'm
years
not
ago.
from Mass.
I had to bring Jane in for some testing in
Yeah.
Boston, and anyway, I drove through Dorchester every day, and it
Not
was
far.
not far.
No.
To get to the other places. All right, but that's the goings on with those two hospitals.
That's too
And
bad.
they're still planning on being closed.
But I still wonder why, because I mentioned to you
Yeah.
that, and I heard on the news this morning, and I looked it up on here. There's a company called Insight Healthcare out of, I believe it was Minnesota or Michigan, who made a bid for all of the hospitals, and Stewart turned it down. So
Yeah,
what
so
was the
why?
problem with the bid? They haven't. They
won't
haven't.
tell you.
They
Yeah,
haven't
but-
said.
But what they're saying is nobody. The governor said nobody wanted to buy them.
They
I know,
wanted to
isn't that
buy all of them.
Well, then what's the
Well, the
deal?
governor said no one wanted to buy these two.
But he just said they made a bid on all of them.
I know it's a contradiction.
Well, isn't it though?
I
Or just
so
a big
this
old
that
fib.
company. Now that company wanted to buy all of them.
All of them.
Now I think, and I don't know the name, but I think there's another company who wants to buy 6, and doesn't want these other 2.
Well, yeah, but
For
go
whatever
with the
reason.
one that wants to buy them all.
Well, you would think that would be the best solution,
yeah.
but
Right.
we don't know.
Here it is right here.
Yeah.
It's from yesterday's article. A Michigan-based healthcare company that specializes in distressed hospitals made a bid to buy all of Stewart's Massachusetts hospitals out of bankruptcy, but the bid was rejected as not viable. And, you know, it
gotta be
goes
the-
on a little bit further, and at the end of it, it says, blah, 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 Stewart is moving towards closing facilities. Stewart officials declined to comment on why they rejected Insight's bid. So I don't know why, but for somebody to say nobody wants them all is
That's
not
wrong.
That's not
is
true.
not right.
Yeah.
It's not, you know.
Does it sound like a money issue, Ed? To me, it sounds
I
it
don't
to
know.
me.
The only thing I can think of is that this is a for-profit company
Yes.
that specializes in distressed hospitals, and maybe they didn't want to sell to a for-profit
Profit.
company.
But Stewart's a for-profit.
I thought it was too.
It is.
And that's why they don't want to sell to another for-profit, maybe.
Well, no, they
thinking
took
they
all
might
the
go in.
profits and they made a ton of money for their CEOs and everybody. But no, Stewart's a for-profit.
Yeah.
So, what's the difference?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I just
They won't tell you.
What's
it's,
the
it's just like, you know, don't tell me nobody wants it when
right.
you don't want somebody to have it.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Exactly. There's
All
somebody
right.
making an offer. Take it.
We got to take a break, and Ed's got a meeting. So Ed's got to
I
go.
do. I gotta hit the road.
So got to hit the road. So, well, thanks for coming in, Ed.
Y'all welcome.
It's always appreciated. More of Coffee and coming your way. Please stick around.
At the turn of this century, 27% of people who passed away were cremated.
What's that?
By the year 2020, that figure rose to
okay, good.
56%.
No
The
breakfast
Cremation
today.
Association of America
How are the
projects
blueberry?
that by the year 2040, 4 out of 5 Americans will choose cremation over a casket burial. Berarducci Funeral Home and Cremation Care Center of Woonsocket can answer your questions about the cremation process. Go online to providencecremation.com. Berarducci Funeral Home and Cremation Care Center on Spring Street, Woonsocket. Let them create the perfect service for your loved one. Berarducci Funeral Home and Cremation Care Center.
Hello, my name is Paul LaValle from the Woonsocket Knights of Columbus, Council 113. I want to invite you to our annual seminarian dinner on Saturday, August 17th. Time is 5 to 7 p.m. at St. Joseph's School Gym, 1200 Mendon Road, Woonsocket, Rhode Island. Tickets are $15. The menu consists of pasta and meatballs, salad, garlic bread, dessert, coffee, tea, or soda. Tickets are available through any Knight of Columbus member or myself at 401-651-5533. Thank you for your support.
All right, it's Coffee and here on ONR Radio. This is Joe Callahan here with Linda Tebow. And you can call in your comments and questions at 766-1240. So they had a lot of canceled flights out of Greene and Logan
yes.
Airport yesterday. People flying to Florida.
Not good.
No,
Yeah.
because of the hurricane down there. Around 375 flights were delayed. More than 70 flights canceled as of 9 p.m. last night at Logan Airport. The main reason, Hurricane Debbie making landfall on the coast of Florida. We can't land there.
Can't land there.
So we're not taking off from here.
Good
And
thinking.
so that's around the country too. So that's
Wow.
New York and Chicago.
Yeah.
If you're going to Florida, no.
Yeah.
Airlines are warning that travel disruptions can be expected for the next few days.
Yeah.
And people should check with their carrier before heading to the airport because
Yeah.
you don't want to be hanging out at the airport all day for no reason.
They're measuring the rain down there in feet.
Are they?
Can you even, huh?
I saw a little film of it.
Wow.
It's funny. I think Disney World was still open and people walking around.
Was it?
And it was just pouring rain. And then, excuse me, then I read they decided to close for the
Well,
day.
good thinking.
Because it's just, well, they have to put things, they put things in place at Disney when they close the parks. And because they got to have something for the people to do.
Right.
Can't be outside of the pool if it's like this.
Yeah.
So they move their characters as much as they can over to the resorts.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
Mickey and Goofy are in the lobby.
Right.
So the
exactly.
kids can
Kids
interact
still-
with them
yeah,
at least and
yeah,
have some fun with them.
exactly, yeah.
Get your picture taken with them
Yeah.
and like that, and try to salvage the day.
Yeah.
When a hurricane hits, a hurricane hits.
It hits.
So and that's what's hitting right now, and we'll see the remnants of it
Oh, yeah.
towards the end of this.
I think the end
week.
of this week we're supposed to see some of that.
We're not going to get feet of rain, but we'll get
No, but
inches of
but
rain.
when they said that, I said 2 to 3
feet of rain, yeah.
That's a lot of rain.
That's a lot of
And plus
rain.
the ocean besides coming in. They're a peninsula. skinny little state there. So yeah.
Up in Massachusetts, a major donor to the Performing and Arts Center at the College of the Holy Cross in Worcester, Mass, wants his money back.
Why?
Cornelius Pryor Jr. made the largest pledge towards the new center at $25 million.
Whoa.
The donation to the $110 million facility led Holy Cross to name it the Pryor Performing Arts Center. Pryor now says he has been unable to receive a full accounting of how his cash was used by the Holy Cross.
Whoa.
So he wants a federal judge to order the money returned to him.
Yee.
This will take years
Wow.
for them to figure this out. Well, we spent it,
Well, of course they did.
and we built this thing, and your name's on it.
Wow.
How do we? That's a tough one. And why won't they tell him? Just give them a full accounting of, what'd you
accounting
do with the
where
money?
the money went.
Yeah. Well, we put up this building, and
Yeah.
we bought these seats, and
Yeah.
we made this stage, and there's got to be a paper trail.
I'm sure there is.
All right, 766-1240 to the panel. Linda, is Aging Well serving meals only at the Social Street home base, or is it also available somewhere else?
It's also available at Waterview, Parkview, the Meadows in North Smithfield twice a week, and at Waterview and Crapo as well, Crapo Court as well. But call the number because I'm not sure. At those off-sites, they're not every single day.
Okay.
So, check it out. I think they're Tuesdays. The Meadows, I believe, is Tuesdays and Thursdays, but I'm not sure of the days for Waterview, Parkview.
Every day, though, at Aging Well?
Oh, yeah, every day at
On
Aging
Social
Well,
Street?
yeah.
Okay.
And it's a good meal.
Okay.
Very good meal.
And inexpensive.
$3
$3.
donation.
Jeez.
And it's a full meal. People can't believe, and there's always a choice. Like you can go and get
Choice of entrees?
well, what it is you can get the full meal,
Uh-huh.
or you can get the lighter version, a lighter meal of a salad. Sometimes it's a sandwich.
Okay.
So
Wow.
if you don't want to, but many of the seniors like to eat that big meal at lunch.
Lunch, yeah,
At
that's it.
lunchtime, and then you have a little something at night. Yeah. No, the
Okay.
food is very good. I've had it. Yeah. And that breakfast club. The last Tuesday of the month,
Good
Steve made
pancakes?
blueberry pancakes and a wonderful parfait. It was really good. Yeah.
This is funny. When I first got married, now we're having like pancakes and bacon, and my wife never did this, and she saw me doing it, taking the bacon and dipping it in the syrup. And she's like, "What are you doing?" "What do you mean? What am I doing?" The question is, why aren't you doing
Well,
this?
right, exactly.
She didn't know it. She always kept it separate. I said, "Give it a try.
Give it a try.
Try right now. Dip it
Very,
in and
very
taste it."
well.
And she goes, "Where's this been all my life?"
Isn't it? Well, I have to tell you, I don't eat bacon, but
Okay.
last week when I went to the breakfast club, there was bacon and, of course, this syrup on the blueberry pancake.
Right.
And I was doing the same thing. It's very delicious.
Same thing with sausage and ham.
Yes.
So if you're not,
Well, I don't know about the ham, but the
Well, I
sausage,
have.
yeah, ham too. Yeah.
yes, but if you're not dipping your meat into the maple syrup, you're missing
You're
out
missing.
on something. Please start doing that.
Do it.
And you'll
Just
be
do
like,
it.
you'll be asking for
Yeah.
extra syrup.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, and now we move on to more health-related items. Speaking
Sure,
of not
yeah.
eating bacon,
No, well, yeah.
new technology being tested in the UK to identify those at risk of a heart attack is
Mm-hmm.
being called a game changer. All right, it uses artificial intelligence to detect inflammation in the heart that CAT scans and X-rays can't see. All right. Heart inflammation is linked to a greater risk of cardiovascular disease and deadly heart attacks. Experts say patients with heart inflammation are 20 to 30 times more likely to die over the next 10 years of a cardiac issue. This is good news if they can,
Yeah.
if they
No,
can
it
detect
is.
it.
Yeah, I saw that research. They've been
Yep.
doing that. Yeah.
And so if you have heart inflammation
Mm-hmm.
and you're diagnosed with it, is there something you can do to reduce the inflammation?
Well,
on the heart?
inflammation. Inflammation is a bad thing for all of us. Even in your joints and no
Oh, yeah.
matter in your belly, wherever it is. And there are some foods to avoid, or foods that help with inflammation, and also there are medications. There are medications
That can help. Okay.
But you know what I was seeing when I saw that? I believe it was that one. So for some of these, they're for high blood pressure. They're saying check try these foods before we give,
For the medicine.
and I think we seem to be going in that direction.
What are the foods? You know. that
Well,
have to
it
be-
depends, but like, for high blood pressure, fruits, like blueberries that you and I were
Blueberries, okay,
talking
yeah.
about, strawberries, berries, and the darker the berry, the better it
better.
is. Those kinds of things. And so I'm happy as a nurse, and like when URI Pharmacy comes to us, now with most of the chronic diseases and such, they're saying, look at those lifestyle changes.
Yeah, first.
Who
yeah.
doesn't want to eat blueberries and strawberries?
Well, right.
Especially at this time of year. We were just talking about bacon. I don't usually eat that, but once in a while, all right.
Well, we figure the pancakes are healthy because there's
Well,
blueberries.
well,
in
there's
it.
blueberries in them.
Another medical study. A new study is highlighting 2 new risk factors for Alzheimer's disease, a type of dementia. Researchers published in The Lancet, which is over in the UK, says there's considerable evidence that high cholesterol and vision loss should be listed as risk factors. 12 others have previously been identified: head injury, physical inactivity, less education, smoking, excessive alcohol consumption, high blood pressure, obesity, diabetes, hearing loss, depression, air pollution, and infrequent social contact. Most of the risk factors can be modified, with which health experts say is important since nearly 7 million Americans have Alzheimer's disease.
Yeah, it's a terrible disease. Terrible, terrible disease.
All right, let's see. What else is going on? You know who Travis Kelce is?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah, he goes out with
What's her name?
Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift is right. There
and
you go.
he's that big, tall
He's the
receiver
football
guy.
player. He's
Res-
tight
what?
end for the Kansas City
That,
Chiefs.
yeah.
Travis Kelce credits the Taylor Swift effect for his newfound celebrity status.
Well, I would say so. You're right, Trav.
All you do is stand next to her.
Yeah, right, exactly.
A TikTok video shows Kelce approaching a group of fans when a man tells the Kansas City Chiefs tight end, quote, "You took my wife's breath away," unquote. Kelce simply responds, "It's the Taylor Swift effect."
Yeah.
The pair have been together for a while, and there are reports they may tie the knot
Really?
at some point.
They've been together for a while.
Well, at least a year,
Yeah.
maybe a year and a half. So.
Oh, easily. But I do know. When I watched football, I liked those like Gronk and those guys because they're tall. And so yes, I knew who he was, and I could pick him out. Yes. And he's a fine-looking young man. He is.
Well, Taylor thinks so, I guess.
Well, yeah.
And you see, I can't remember the other football player's name, but he was in Paris because he's married to Simone Biles.
Oh, Simone Biles. Yeah.
And so he was there watching her.
Plays for the Bears.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
so.
tight.
I'm not sure, but watching her do her gymnastics thing, and he had to have gotten special okay because it's training camp time.
Well, sure it is. But did you notice he was keeping score?
Or was he taking
That's
notes?
he was keeping score.
Keeping score. Okay,
He was
who's got
keeping-
what?
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
keeping score. Yeah, to watch him, it was so. I thought it was really cute. That he was really,
Yeah,
really paying
he's
attention.
he's into it. Okay. And Elon Musk says he's opening a new school in Texas. The Montessori-style program is expected to begin this fall for students ages 3 to 9.
Huh.
The school's name is Ad Astra, meaning to the stars.
Oh,
And Musk says the school will operate as a nonprofit focusing on education related to science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
of course.
Because that's what the 3-year-olds want to study. Musk,
Yeah, so, yeah.
Musk is said to have opened another branch of the school a decade ago at the SpaceX headquarters in California for children of company employees.
Well, that's good.
Well, sure. And the Montessori schools, they're the same as. Are they free?
No.
They're private. You got to pay
Yeah,
for those.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I don't know if they were like charter schools. That's what I was looking for.
Oh no, I think they were way ahead of their time. You
Are
know?
they?
Yeah,
Okay.
way ahead. I mean, my kids were going to school. They had Montessori schools.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We'll see if this goes anywhere. In San Diego, the San Diego City Council has unanimously endorsed reparations for African Americans in California, and the San Diego County Board of Supervisors may also be voting on the issue. The San Diego Union Tribune newspaper says the support of elected officials in San Diego is for a series of bills being debated in Sacramento. Among the potential new state laws are increased food and medical payments, violence reduction grants, and home ownership assistance programs. out there in San Diego.
That's California.
That's California for you. All right, and let's see. We get anything else going on? We talked about the high lead in the Cocoa Puff cereal.
Yes, we did.
And it's funny. This is with my daughter. Growing up, and we fed her all the good chocolatey, sugary cereal because that's what kids love. And when she could start to feed herself, of course, and I think it was Cocoa Krispies we gave her, and then of course she finishes it, and then you get the nice chocolate milk in the bowl.
Yeah.
She wouldn't drink it.
Really?
I said, but that's the best part. You get to the cereal, and then you get chocolate milk left over to drink. She goes, I don't like it. I don't. It was too sugary. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Where did you go wrong?
I don't know. You're the only kid. So now it's like,
funny.
pass the bowl to me.
Yeah, I'll take it.
We're not pouring this down the drain.
Yeah.
I'll take it. All right, that'll do it for the show for today. Thank you very much for listening in. Always appreciate it. Thanks to Ed Crew, who was here a little earlier. And Linda Tebow, thanks for being here today.
My pleasure as always.
All right, I'm Joe Callahan. Have yourself a great day. Stay tuned for Gary Smith and the Crew. Do you remember is coming your way at 9:30 here on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.
After just over a year in the position, Providence, Rhode Island Bishop Richard Henning is leaving.